Welcome back, pure structure traders, for another market analysis for the London session and potentially into the US session. Today is April 19, 2021 here in Hawaii, and will be April 20th, 2021 in London. Today we'll be going over S&P 500 and also gold. Give you guys some levels we're going to be looking at for the London session tonight, and potentially those levels can hold up into the US session. For those who enjoy these videos, please go ahead and smash that like button. For you guys who are not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. For those who watch these videos, are subscribed and like these videos, thank you guys very much. Appreciate that. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pop them in here on YouTube. We would love to get back to you guys. If you guys do feel like you want to join Pure Structure Trading, learn how to find consistency in trading, feel free to pop into the Pure Structure Trading website with us, and we will get back to you guys. Other than that, guys, let's go ahead and hop into it. Let's start with S&P 500. We can see on S&P that we did have slower movement for the US session, but then started to grind to the downside when we really couldn't break back above these 71 to 70s, right around this area. We could see it touch that area in the US session and then started to pull down, and then we started to gradually crawl down into our levels of about 46 to about 45. Right around here you can see all the touches that we had, and then a push back up again. Still bullish, just a bit of a pullback that we had. So what are we looking for on S&P 500? Really, I want to see if we actually go into a range here between these two levels. If we do, if we fail to get above this resistance at 64.75, I will look for the continuation or short from here. Maybe get a nice double top right at that level, but we're trying to press that area right now. So we'll see if we pop up, then come back underneath, get that short opportunity. Now support right here at 46, then about 38 is my next level of support. Underneath that, got another one right around 22 to 23 as support if the market does come down under here. Now we can buy these. Buyers may come in right between these areas here, but we want to note that for me, once we get underneath these 38s, I may end up looking for a short if we reject it. Want to see the price come underneath, reject it twice, and then try that short. Now if we reject it twice and we still can't pull down deeper, it's going to look something like this. We may reject it. If it stalls right here, we may get a nice double bottom and pop right back up to the upside from there. So we want to pay attention. We could go into a range. With ranges, we're going to buy low, sell high, but prices do sometimes on S&P not necessarily respect the levels very nicely and actually break through them, but then come right back up to just pop back to the upside. So we want to keep that in mind, but that's what I'm looking for. Now if we just break this resistance at about 64, I am looking to see if we're going to retest that gap area and try to move through that into about 78 to 79 as our level of resistance. So we'll see if that actually happens here on S&P 500, and if we get the pullback to the upside. If we do, we may even range between these two levels of about 62 to about 78 before we try to continue the move back to the upside from here. Best opportunity is a break to the upside and then a retest of the prior resistance as support for a continuational move. So we'll see if we get those opportunities. But again, for the US session, we had a very slow movement on S&P, and it did grind itself to the downside into about 46, but you can see we're trying to pull back up. So for the London session, we'll see if we stay below these 64s. If we do, we're going to look for the short back down into 46. If we get above this though, we may end up getting an opportunity to try to push that upside. We did have a bounce off of that level of 62 to 64, but we didn't go as high as we wanted to for the US session. So we'll see if the London session will bring us above 64 and give us opportunity to the upside of 78, or we stay beneath 64 and get an opportunity to try to pull it down deeper. With that, let's take a look at a smaller chart here on S&P 500. So you guys can see here on S&P, we do have this smaller chart showing us that we broke above those 64.75s, but not convincingly yet. So again, we do want to see if we just continue, make a nice push up, and then we'll come back, maybe use these 62s as support. If we get those bounces, we will look for a continuational move to the upside, but we get underneath this level and we're going to have an opportunity to try to pull it down back into the support there. So we'll see what happens here on S&P 500. Let's take a look here on our gold. Kind of similar to what we were just seeing on S&P. We did have a bullish trend, but then we started to move down and we were kind of ranging between two levels. Now we had some opportunities on the US session for the upside right around these 70s, I believe. We had an opportunity right around those 69 to 70s as the level of support. Price bounced around there for the US session. And we had a nice move back to the upside to about 75. Then price started to try to pull down and then pull down deeper into another level of ours, which is about 66. You can see a nice 1-2 touches, and then we had opportunity to break to the upside from there. So we'll see. I do want to see if not SB, but gold holds this level. We may go into a bit of a range. So I removed that level of 70. Wanted this range that we see right in between this, where we could actually bounce before we make a move in a direction. I got support under here right around 58 to 61 that we could see the market try to come down and maybe double bottom right off of and try to head back up. But first, what we're going to look for is the resistance coming in right at these 74.6s. Want to see if the price gets above this or rejects it. If I get a nice 2 tries, formulates a double top, can't get above that, I'm going to look for an opportunity to continue the short back down into 66 and then below that into 61 to 58. If we can't break these 66s though, we may get a pull underneath but a bounce right back up and then another attempt. If we fail right here at this second attempt, this could be a good opportunity to get it right back up into about 74. Now again, when you zoom out, still bullish, but we're pulling back into some major levels of support. So we want to keep that in mind. Again, 61 to about 58 is going to be where we'll see some of these buyers try to come in and then prop price right back up. So you could get an inverse head and shoulders, a double bottom, a triple bottom. Those things could formulate right at those levels. So we want to keep an eye out for those areas of support as price comes down into it. But again, we may see some downward movement being that we can't get above these 74s. If we get above these 74s, next level of resistance that I got targeted is going to be right around these 79 to 80s. Now this is going to be interesting if we get above this area to see if price can hold this little micro area right here to try to continue back up to a more main level of 83 and then about 1790 as resistance above that. So we want to keep that in mind as we are trading. 1780 is going to be our next level of resistance. So we'll keep that up there for the London session. But for right now, we are moving between two levels right here, which is going to be these 74s to as low as about 66, 65 as support. So we'll look out to see if the market stays in this range and we can buy low and sell high. If you want to continue with the momentum, right now the momentum is down, so you can try to short this. If you get above these 74s, though, you may get a nice momentum move to try to shift and move right back up to higher levels of resistance. Let's take a look at gold on a smaller chart here. So for gold, you can see similar price action movement that would get us. Again, we would go into this range that we see happening right here in between these levels where we could get the support coming in. I'd like to see double bottoms or double tops. So you can see it's starting to round out here. Let's see if we get that resistance to come in again. If we do and it fails to get through those 74s, look for that short to come back down into support. Again, once it hits that support, you can see if we just break right through. If we don't and we find that support, that's going to be another good opportunity to try to go and get that range. You get above those 74s though, keep in mind we do want to see this price break above and then come back and retest and fail to go lower from the retest so we can pop back up into our next level of 83. That's what we're going to be looking at when we target these levels on gold. So again, above these 74s, we're going to look to target those 80s. Above 80, you're going to look to try to target those 83 to 84s. But again, you could get some pullbacks. It could consolidate like this little bit of area that we see right over here before it makes a move up or down. So you want to pay attention to that. If you're not good with micro levels, you can stay away from that. If you do like to play those micro levels, that's going to be an opportunity that you potentially could have. Other than that, though, guys, that is it for S&P 500 and also gold. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you guys did, please go ahead and smash that like button. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. For all those who are subscribed to the channel, thank you guys very much. For those who are part of Pure Structure Trading. Again, we will be in the London session tonight looking to trade some of this. Hopefully we get some opportunities and some movement on S&P and also gold. For those who like to do oil, if you guys want us to put up oil and NASDAQ, just let us know. You can pop in a comment here on YouTube. Let us know if that's something you guys are interested in seeing and having us do a market analysis on as far as levels. Other than that, guys, you guys take care. Have a great night and trade well.